So I began to record this fucking video, and it just now I just don't feel like recording anymore. So my webcam decided, let's stop the video. Fantastic. So I was trying to figure out exactly like how to start a video about anxiety, and I see a girl named Alex G 8 months ago did a video, and it says I have anxiety, and she starts out, hey guys, my name's so-and-so, and today I'm going to talk about the fact that I suffer from anxiety. You know how you know when someone doesn't suffer from anxiety? This suffers from anxiety. You see this pristine fucking background? You see a messy fucking bedroom, don't you? Yeah. Does this seem like a happy chipper person? No, because Alex G doesn't actually suffer from anxiety. She just has anxieties. I actually am diagnosed with Generalized Anxiety Disorder. This is what anxiety actually fucking looks like. Not, hi guys, my name is so-and-so, and today on my YouTube channel, where I have 100,000 subscribers, I'm going to talk about this or that. That's not what anxiety looks like. So if you watch the video where it's talking about anxiety, and you see that, next. Because that's not what anxiety is. I mean, so you can already tell I actually have anxiety. This is what anxiety actually looks like. I'm not hiding it. I'm not pretending to be anything else. You know what anxiety looks like? Looks like a very stressed out person with a very dirty room. I'm having a problem with people lately. I definitely can't communicate with people anymore. At one point, I posted this admittedly pretty silly post about how I was going to start learning sign language and make other people learn a language just so that they can communicate with me. But it's not other people's problem, it's my problem. It's my problem that the rest of the world seems to lack common sense. Now, let me explain that to you. It is my problem. It is. It's my problem. The rest of the world really does lack common sense. But I don't. I have common sense. But the rest of the world doesn't seem to. So that's where part of my anxiety comes from. Yesterday in New York, we had a nor'easter. We got about 2 feet of snow. It was a state of emergency. All right. A tree fell down across my house. And it took down a line, which I thought was our cable line. Turns out it wasn't actually our cable line. It was an old Verizon line. But at the time, I thought it was our cable line. Our cable line, we have internet, phone, and cable through the same provider. So when I mean cable line, I'm essentially meaning the line that goes to your house that brings you service. All right? I worked for an ISP for 3 years, and I also did installations, so I know a little bit about that kind of stuff. Well, when the tree fell down, it took down our line. But the line was still connected, right? So across the road was the pole, and then the tree took down part of the line, but it didn't completely remove it from the pole. So what was a line that kind of just goes over the road was now like drooping down, going across the road, and still connected to our house. Okay? This guy, I live in a place that's attached to an apartment complex. I don't live in an apartment, but my home is attached to an apartment complex. We live in a single dwelling versus everybody else that lives in an apartment. I say that a few more times, Lee. Maybe they're not crystal clear. Anyways, there are multiple entrances and exits. I understand that this idiot, Frank, wanted to cut the cable because it was blocking an entrance and exit. It's blocking an entrance and exit during a nor'easter in a state of emergency where no one's going to be fucking driving. They weren't even plowing the fucking roads. But he needs to cut this cable so, people can come and go as they damn well please. The only problem with that is it's a utility line, which means that if you cut that, it's a fine and it's time in prison. This asshole, Frank is his name, has already done 2 sentences in prison. And was so pissed off that our line was down, and we told him not to cut it, and he wanted to cut it. I literally had to tell my father to call the fucking landlord and tell him, hey, if he cuts it, he's going back to jail. And not only that, you'd be leaving us without phone, cable, and internet during a fucking nor'easter. Three hours later, Central Hudson shows up and fixes the line. 3 hours. Now, I'm not just ranting and raving about just this guy. This isn't the only guy that I've had an issue with lately. There's been multiple people that I've been having issues with lately. I go to therapy, right? I brought up to my therapist that, I've come a really long way, and I'd like to try other forms of therapy. I go to CBT, and I wanted to try DBT, mostly because they give you homework. Well, my therapist thought it was a good idea, and she kind of, I don't know if she closed my case with her or not. I'm definitely able to make an appointment with her and see her when I want to. But she did hand off my file to someone else named Nanette. Basically, Annette with an N in front of it. Nanette was supposed to call me to schedule an appointment so that I can start therapy with her. Guess what Nanette hasn't done? That's right, she hasn't called me. It's been 3 weeks. This is the same doctor's office that when I was terminated illegally from Time Warner and they canceled my health insurance illegally, they have a person that you can go to try to get Medicaid through. His name is Sam. I was unemployed at the time, and I went to Sam to get Medicaid. I received a response back from Medicaid saying that I made too much money. Oh, the fucking screen. I made too much money to get Medicaid. I was fired. I was making $0 and 0 cents an hour. That apparently was too much to get Medicaid. Now, Sam didn't do the paperwork right. Sam fucked up. I went to see Sam 4 times to try to get Medicaid. I went through about 9 months of being unemployed with no health insurance. I got no fucking help because I had to put my reliance on other people. When I was fired from Time Warner, I applied for unemployment, got turned down. I went to appeal my being turned down. I had to call. I had to find out what the whole situation was, how to even appeal. The woman on the phone told me that I would have to mail them physically, not email, but physically mail them a form. And I asked, okay, well, when will I hear back from somebody? She said, you won't. I said, okay. I said, so then why, if I'm not going to hear back from anybody, why am I sending this in? And she goes, well, if you want to appeal the decision, you have to send in this form. And I said, okay, but no, I'm not going to hear from anybody? She goes, no. I said, no fucking point in appealing it then, obviously. Because if I'm going to kind of go ahead with the whole, appealing process, I need to hear from somebody. I need to have communication with somebody. Nope. No communication whatsoever. Sent in the form, never heard a fucking thing about it. let's see, what else? Oh, yeah. So I missed work yesterday, because I didn't have power, and, obviously my service was knocked out, right? Well, I didn't have cell phone either, because I plugged it in overnight, and guess what happened overnight? That's right, I lost power, which means I woke up to a dead cell phone. So I eventually get into contact with my boss today. And I let her know that, yeah, I got your email. I'm going to be able to work today. And she goes, oh, good, good, good. Because I was really afraid that I was going to have to, write you up for no call, no show. I sent her the pictures of the fucking tree that fell down with the wire going across the driveway and into my yard. And she's talking about no call, no show. I like to use Reddit quite a bit. And I went on Ask Reddit because I noticed that Reddit can be kind of bitter, right? And so I went to Ask Reddit and I said, "Why does it seem like Reddit seems? Why is Reddit so bitter?" I got a few answers, but immediately it was like pulled, right? It was deleted, and they said it violates Rule 3 that it's a loaded question. A loaded question is a fat girl asking, "Does this dress make me look fat?" No, it's the fat that makes you look fat. Asking Reddit why Reddit seems to be bitter isn't a loaded question. And when the mods reached out to me, I verbatim told them that asking Reddit why Reddit seems to be so bitter is akin to asking why the sky is blue. And they came back to me. They wanted me to reword it. And the way that the mod reworded it was going to be, bitter people of Reddit. Why? That's not even remotely the same fucking question that I was asking. His question is asking, why are you so bitter? I don't give a fuck why Joe Schmo in Arkansas is bitter. Alright? I don't give a fuck. What I'm asking is, why is it that the overall experience of Reddit seems to lean towards the bitter side? I'm not asking why each individual user on Reddit is bitter. First off, most people won't admit that they're bitter. And secondly, a lot of people don't even know that they're bitter. I fully admit to being fucking bitter. Alright? Because my life hasn't gone very well at all. On the range of possibilities, my cards have been fucking shit. Basically since I was born. I don't give a shit why Joe Schmo's fucking bitter, alright? I want to know why the overall experience seems to be a little bitter, right? Well, the funny thing is that I couldn't post that from my main account. I have a throwaway account, so I had to post it from my throwaway account. And so, my throwaway account also got banned. Why? Ban avoidance. So I messaged the mod. Part of the message that we're going back and forth with, I said to him, oh, by the way, my normal user account is banned for some reason. So can you tell me why? They wouldn't tell me why. They said, message us from that account. They know the name of my normal account. I told them the name of the account. I specifically asked, why is such and such user account blocked or banned? That's my other account. I had to post under this account. Please look into why this other account is banned. Mod refused to do it and said, message us under your normal account. Why? You already have my normal account. Look through your records. Why did you block Smarky McFly? That's my username on Reddit. Why did you fucking block him? Why'd you ban that in a username? Well, that's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Look it up. And now I knew immediately the reason why he was saying messages under your normal account is because he knows goddamn well I'm not going to sign off on my name, sign in under my other name, and then go and message them. They know I'm not going to go do that. So basically, they said, nah, I'm going to be real fucking lazy and not do what you're asking us to do. No, we're going to make you take an extra, completely fucking useless step. I worked for an ISP, so I know a little bit about technology, all right? Somewhere in their database is Smarky McFly, and there's like a reason, right? It's probably in an Excel spreadsheet or it's somewhere in a SQL server, all right? It's one of those two. That's all they had to do, is look through their fucking, whatever they have recorded, look through that, search Smarky McFly, find out why. I don't ever remember posting on that forum from that username. I never have. And I was gonna be open. Oh shit, like 3 years ago, yeah, I did say something that was kind of jerky. Okay, I understand why I'm banned. Keep me banned. Fucking camera. Yeah, I understand why I'm blocked. You know, keep me banned, whatever. I know. I did the crime. I pay the time, right? Fine. It's not like I can't just make another account in fucking 5 minutes. And they'll never know. So, I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand why I'm having such a hard time with people. I'm in a forum about a specific video game series that has been very near and dear to my heart since I was 16 years old. I'm 32. I turned 33 this month. So now more than half of my life I've been playing and I've been involved with this one video game series. And one day I just randomly decided to look up to see, hey, is there like a subreddit for this video game? Yes, there is, and there's a very active community. So I start posting in there, and everybody is telling everybody off. It's like everybody is the one special snowflake that figured out what the game is actually about. And fuck you, because you had a thinky think that doesn't align with my thinky think, so you must be wrong. It's like, it's not even that. I had made an observation that in Metal Gear Solid V, I made an observation that it's open world, but yet the world itself feels very empty. And the reason why I said this is because in Metal Gear Solid 5, or MGSV, I like to call it V. In V, there's only two landscapes. There's Afghanistan and Africa. In these landscapes, there's no semblance of a town. There's no semblance of non-playable characters that are there to give you pieces of information. There are no regular townspeople. There are no markets. There's no semblance of towns that once existed. Actually, no, that's not true. There's one section in the entire fucking game that makes it look like it was once inhabited by people. The rest of the game is literally roads and outposts. That's it. And everybody was telling me basically my opinion was shitty and worthless and fucking stupid because I felt that an open world that is significantly lacking fucking people doesn't feel very alive. I'm playing Red Dead Redemption for the first time in my life. I know, I missed out on like a really great game. I know. And that's open world. That feels way more alive than a game that was just released maybe like, what, a year or two ago? You know why it feels more alive? Because when I go into a town, there's actually people walking around. There's people talking to each other. And then people are like, oh, well, you thought that, what you think an open world isn't what this game is. That's your fault. Don't claim it's an open world and then have a dead world. You only come across enemies in Metal Gear Solid 5. You don't ever come across non-playable characters that aren't your enemy. Literally everybody's your enemy in this game. Another one was I actually made the comment that, now that I'm playing Red Dead Redemption, and the mechanics of the open world and the mechanics of the using a horse to get from town to town, the mechanics of the horse itself, the way the horse operates, the way that you control the horse, the way that you and the horse seem to interact with your surroundings. It seems like Metal Gear Solid 5 was very heavily influenced, if not directly ripped off, the open world and the horse bit from Red Dead Redemption. So I posted that on Reddit. I got comments such as, "Oh, I guess Red Dead Redemption must have invented people riding on horses too." That wasn't meant as a snarky comment. Focus. Come on, camera. Focus. Focus on me, goddammit. That wasn't meant as a snarky comment. This person actually fucking meant this. So we're 20 minutes now, and all I've been complaining about is how I can't deal with fucking people. I don't get it. Like, I feel like I don't belong. I feel like even though I'm using the English language, I'm speaking a different language. Because I don't understand the people around me. Or not around me. I've been having issues with my pharmacy. Every time I go to refill a prescription, it's either the computer system is down, so I have to pay full price, and if I keep my receipt, the next time I get my prescription filled, they'll see what they can do for me. Or I contacted my doctor and I told him that I felt I needed a mood stabilizer, and he said, "You don't. You're just on a really low dose of the medication that you're on. We're just going to start upping your dose," and we did. And for the most part, it works. Well, I called the doctor's office. The receptionist wrote the email to the doctor. So the doctor sent the new prescription over to my pharmacy. I was on the phone while the receptionist was typing up the email and read it back to me, and then sent it while I was on the phone to the doctor. I go and pick up the new prescription. They don't fucking have it. Right? So I go pick up my prescription a few days later because they wouldn't fill my prescription because my doctor told me to start double dosing my medication, and we'll just get a new prescription for 20 milligrams instead of 10. Right? So I'm double dosing my medication. Well, guess what? I run out of medication early, right? They wouldn't fill my prescription unless I paid full price because I ran out early, right? Well, the next time that I go to fill my prescription, guess what? They had the right prescription. They had it right. They had the right one all along. They had the right fucking one all along. Nothing changed. I didn't make another phone call. I didn't do anything. I just waited until the day that they told me that I could pick up my medication, and I picked it up. And guess what? They had the right fucking prescription. I didn't even tell them it was for 20 milligrams. I'm picking up the 20 milligram prescription. I called in and said, hey, I have to refill a prescription. I don't know the number, but it's for Celexa. I go and pick it up, 20 milligrams right on the bottle. They had the right prescription. I went 5 days without taking my med because my fucking pharmacy fucked up. I smoke. And it's like one of the very few things that actually alleviates my anxiety. Another thing that I notice is when I talk about taking prescription medication for my anxiety, you know what I get all the time? I get people telling me, oh, you got sucked in by Big Pharma, man. All you got to do is just meditate, man. That's all you need. Just meditate. Ah, fucking camera. Yeah. Because they're anti-Big Pharma. They think I should just smoke a little pot, sit Indian style, om, clear your mind of any thoughts. Yeah, I've got generalized anxiety disorder, asshole. My mind doesn't get clear to thoughts. It's always thinking about something. Always. It doesn't stop. Yeah, fucking right. Like that would ever fucking work. I grew up in a household with 2 screaming parents. So when I'm upset, in my mind, I'm screaming at somebody. And it doesn't stop for fucking hours. Sometimes days. That's gonna fix everything. Here, listen to this YouTube video of this tone at exactly 47 hertz. Hold your fingers together and go, think pleasant thoughts, Fucking stupid people. And then there's the whole feeling completely invalidated about my experiences when I try to explain myself to people. They're just waiting for their turn to talk. They don't listen. They hear what you say, but they didn't listen. Not one bit. And that's one thing I have noticed that people have a real hard time with. They don't understand the difference between hearing somebody when someone's talking and actually listening to them. Listening means that the sounds that they're making with their mouth actually enter one ear, but it doesn't exit the other one. It actually stays in your brain. You actually think about what they said. You actually consider this person actually has thoughts and feelings, and, maybe I should actually fucking consider that instead of letting it shoot out the other side of my head and just spewing out whatever I thought halfway through their sentence. That's what people do now. Instead of waiting, hearing everything that the person has to say, thinking about what that person has to say, considering their thoughts, feelings, and actions. No, nobody does that anymore. You know what really irks me is when someone does that to the point that they start mouthing their response while you're still finishing your sentence. Hi guys, my name's Lee, and today on my channel I'm going to talk about anxiety. That's so unbelievably fucking fake. No, you know what that is? That's for views. This is what a video about anxiety looks like when it's not trying to get views, when it's trying to be real. Real angry. I am angry. I am. I know that part of the reason why I'm so frustrated and why I have been venting for the last half an hour, it's just because I want to be accepted. That's all it is. I don't want to feel like I don't belong. And I do. I feel like I don't belong. Because, okay. I genuinely do not feel like the rest of society has issues communicating with other people like I seem to be having. I don't think that the rest of society has as much of a problem communicating with other people like I do. Because I mean, everything throughout this video, yeah, communication's a fucking problem. And I understand the only constant in this story is me. I understand that. Except for the fact that there is another constant, which is everybody else, the rest of the world. Sorry, but it is true. The rest of the world is also constant in this situation, in this story. The rest of the world is also a constant. I know I'm constant, but so is the rest of the world. I don't know. I know I said, like, learning sign language is, like, silly. Family signs. Dad, mom, grandfather, grandmother. I think this is either aunt or sister. This is either uncle, wait, hold on, uncle or brother. And then there's that, and then there's that, and that's either uncle or brother or sister or aunt. But yeah, I've already started learning sign language because I really have started taking it that far where it's like, dude, there's no point. The whole world is doing this, but I just need to do this for a long time because if I keep doing this, it's just leading to my frustrations. I know I don't belong here. I don't think I've ever belonged. When I was in first grade, Mrs. Coutant, that was her name, it was my birthday, and I was supposed to give out, birthday invitations. My birthday comes, they have it at the Ho Bowl in Kingston. The only people that show up are my uncle and this girl that I thought was cute at the time named Joy Hutton. My parents ordered 11 pizzas. Nobody came. Mrs. Coutant wouldn't let me hand out the birthday invitations because that's not what we do in her class. 7th grade, home economics, Miller Middle School. Teacher divides the entire class between the good kids and the bad kids. The bad kids, we all were given assignments to do in the book, read the chapter, answer the questions. The good kids, she taught the class lesson to those kids. I was lumped in with the bad kids. I had never been in a fight. It was literally my first year in Miller. My first fucking year. I had gone to Kingston City schools before that. I didn't go to Miller. I went to Bailey and Edson. It was my first fucking year. What kind of student record could they have had? And if they had a student record, the only thing they would have seen was Lee notoriously doesn't do his homework. That's the only fucking thing. Oh, except for maybe in 5th grade when I broke down in the middle of class and started crying and had to start seeing a fucking therapist in 5th grade. Yeah, I've been in and out of therapy all my life. Literally all of my life. In order to get out of the bad kids, you'd had, and I'm not kidding about this. I'm not kidding. You had to stay after. Get down on your hands and knees and grovel to the teacher to let you back in to the good kids. And I did. I stayed after. I got down on my hands and knees and begged. If I had told my parents that, like, they never would have let me do that in a million years. But me being a kid, I didn't know that that was fucked up. Now, looking back, yeah, that was really fucked up. That teacher did that. Really fucked up. A year later, Rondout Valley. I went to 3 schools in 1 year, by the way. Miller, Bailey, Rondout. 7th grade. In the 8th grade, home economics again. I'm dating this girl, Amanda Westfall. She's an orphan. She was adopted into this family, and I started dating her. Teacher disagrees with something that I say. Or disagrees with something. I do something to get in trouble. And the teacher, out of nowhere, goes, "You know what, Lee? You're going to be the one that screws this thing up between you and Amanda." The whole class just goes dead silent. And everyone's like, did she really just fucking say that? The reason why I bring those situations up is because I have had very terrible experiences with women. I've been in abusive relationships before. And, you know, I talk to people on Reddit and they completely invalidate my experience. So much so that it's like, it's almost pointless to even bring it up anymore. You know, it's pointless to tell people that, yes, I have a negative outlook towards women because of the way that women have treated me all my life. They always say, oh, well, there's only one constant. There's only one constant, and it's you. Really? Really? So you mean that there's something about me that attracted my 1st grade teacher to tell me that I'm not allowed to hand out invitations? You really mean to tell me there's something about me that attracts home economic teachers that make me stay after class and grovel on my hands and knees, or tell me that I'm going to be the one that fucks up my relationship with a girlfriend in front of an entire class? You mean to tell me that there's something about me that attracts abusive women? No. There's nothing about me that attracts this. This is what has happened. Sometimes shitty things happen to people, and they end up not feeling so fucking great about it. You know, I think it's completely fucking acceptable to feel some sour grapes after being in an abusive relationship. I'm allowed to feel that. I can have some sour grapes. Especially considering the fact that people keep telling me over and over and over that it must be me, it must be me, it must be me. And I start to see the same fucking thing in a lot of other fucking women. So you're telling me that it's me, it's me, it's me. All right, so I start looking for it. I start looking for the shit that I start looking for similarities in the people who have abused me. And I start finding similarities in a ton of fucking women. but I'm wrong.